MakingAScene.org brings you the Living Room Circuit, how to book house concerts, make them pay, and turn them into touring infrastructure. All right, let's get right into it because what we're talking about today isn't just some cute side hustle. We're talking about a serious strategy for transforming living rooms into the actual backbone of a sustainable music career.
I want you to just picture this for a second. Forget the dingy bar where you're basically the background music for a football game on TV. Instead, you walk into a warm, quiet home. The chairs are already set up, and every single person in that room is there for one reason and one reason only, to listen to you. This isn't some fantasy, this is the promise of the living room circuit.
So why is this model so incredibly powerful? Well, it's because the traditional venue model, it's often kind of broken, especially for independent artists. And the real issue, it's not about ego, or not wanting to play smaller rooms. It comes down to one simple, brutal business reality: margin.
Okay, this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? In a traditional club, what are they really selling? They're selling nightlife, they're selling beer, socializing. The music is just part of the atmosphere. And as the artist, you get a tiny slice of that pie while the audience's attention is scattered everywhere. But in a house concert, the product is attention. It's the performance. The artist gets a huge share. In the audience, they are 100% focused on you.
So you see, this isn't just a smaller version of a club show. It is an entirely different product. And once you really wrap your head around that, you start to see how you can unlock its power for your career.
So what exactly is a house concert? Well, according to networks like Listening Room Network, this is pretty much the classic definition. It's invitation only, which makes it a private event. The host isn't trying to make money off of you, and you, the artist, are the absolute center of gravity. That simple formula, it changes absolutely everything.
And here's why that formula is such a game changer. The business advantages are just huge. I mean, think about it. You have almost zero overhead. The host's only motive is their love for your music. You're not spending a dime on promotion. And because that audience is so engaged, your merch sales per person go way, way up. Plus, you often get a hot meal and a place to crash for the night. It is an incredibly efficient business model.
Okay, so you're sold, they're efficient, they're profitable, but how in the world do you actually find these gigs? They can feel kind of invisible, right? But they are out there, you just need the playbook.
So your job isn't to go searching for some secret master list. It's about tapping into the networks where artists and hosts are already looking for each other. You've got platforms like Sidedoor, HomeDiddy, and Concerts in Your Home that were built specifically for this. And hey, don't overlook professional groups like Folk Alliance International. They have whole directories of presenters who are actively booking these kinds of shows.
But here is the secret weapon, and this is a point that MakingAScene.org really emphasizes. Your most likely hosts are already your fans. That person who bought a t-shirt at your last show, the name that's been on your email list for 2 years. You don't just have listeners, you have a potential network just waiting for you to ask.
Now, when you do reach out, please remember, you are not asking for a favor. You're proposing a professional partnership. Your pitch needs to make the host feel totally comfortable and clear on everything. Tell them exactly what you need for your setup, how much space you require, and most importantly, how the money is going to work. The more professional you are, the more bookable you become.
All right, let's talk about the money, because this is where the romance of playing an intimate show crashes into the reality of running a business. We have to make the math work.
This chart is brilliant because it shows you the true value of the gig. It's so much more than just the cash that gets collected at the door. You have to think of it as a whole stack of benefits. You keep 100% of your merch sales. You save maybe $100 on a hotel room. You save another 20 on dinner. When you add all that up, a 30-person house concert can easily be more profitable than a 100-person club gig. Seriously.
So how do you actually collect the money? It generally breaks down into two camps. The classic model is the suggested donation, which works really well to keep it feeling like a private, special event. But now you've got these newer platforms like Sidedoor and HomeDiddy that offer formal, transparent ticketing, which can make the whole money conversation a lot less awkward for everyone involved.
So you've booked the gig, you've figured out the money. Now we get to the most important part, the show itself. And listen, this is about so much more than just turning down the volume. It is a true art form.
And this is a question that every artist needs to ask themselves honestly. If your whole show relies on thunderous volume or a big light show or just a wall of sound, you might need to create a second version of your act before you start pitching these gigs.
And as MakingAScene.org points out, the bands that really kill it in this setting aren't the ones who just turn down. They're the ones who rearrange with purpose. This means making smart musical choices. The drummer switches to a cajon or brushes. The vocal harmonies, which get lost in a loud bar, suddenly become a main feature. And the stories behind the songs, they become a huge part of the experience. You have to learn to trust the silence.
Okay, now we get to the end game. Because this isn't really about playing one nice show. This is about building a real, sustainable touring business that you, and only you, own and control piece by piece.
This right here is the core idea of the whole thing. Each living room you play isn't just a gig, it's a connection point. It's a node. It's a direct line to a community of listeners and a host who can introduce you to other hosts and priceless data for your email list, not some platforms.
See, the gig doesn't end when you pack up your guitar. In a way, that's when the real work begins. Sending a proper thank you to the host, asking them for referrals, making sure you get every single email address for your list. This is how one good night turns into a repeatable, reliable touring route that you control. You know, the old music business taught artists to chase big numbers. Big rooms, big platforms, big follower counts. But what's the point of 1 million followers if you can't actually reach them directly? House concerts totally flip that logic. They teach you to build an audience that you actually own.
And really, when you boil it all down, this is what you're left with. This model strips away all the noise, all the middlemen of the modern music industry.
There's no gatekeeper telling you no. There's no algorithm hiding you from your fans. There's no borrowed crowd that's there for the venue, not you. It's just a room, a song, a host, and a business model that, in a world of chaos, still makes perfect sense. It's powerful, it's practical, and it puts the artist right back in the driver's seat.
Make sure you check out the other great articles and resources on makingascene.org, the place the indie artist goes to build the new music industry.